Good evening, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and I am joined tonight, as almost always, by Rob Fat Stacks of Comics. How you doing tonight, sir?
I am doing okay.
Just okay. We'll take that.
End of
And of
month.
course, the reason our show is an hour late is we didn't have the Evian water ready or the bouquet of blood red roses. So Adrian, Casual Dracula, refused to show up until I went to the store and got those and had them in his waiting room. And then Rob and I both had to cuddle him and make a Drac sandwich. And now that he's pacified, we are here with the 1011 with the guest of honor, actual Dracula. How you doing tonight, Adrian?
Excellent. Now, thank you for paying attention to my rider and getting everything that I requested. So that's. I'm glad that you came through with that, and that we can now proceed with the show. So
I even made sure to bring some of your home dirt over from Canada. So, Dracula
yeah,
always has to have his own
got
earth with him.
gotta have a handful of that at least.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so you had a busy day at work too, huh, Drac?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's always busy, and yeah, it is what it is. So. I
So let's see.
it's kind of the nature of my work sometimes. I don't know what my day is going to look like. That's why, like, even my own shows, I usually don't schedule to the day of because I don't know what I'm going to be doing day to day. So
Oh,
yeah,
well, hey, at least you're busy.
yeah, it's work, so can't complain.
Cruiser,
Yeah.
TJ, Chop. So, Drac, all the people that are going to be in the audience tonight are obviously here for you. But for the people catching on the rewind, give us a short synopsis of who Adrian Actual Dracula is and of your channel, sir, before we get going with the books.
Okay, yes. Well, I am actual Dracula, aka Adrian, and I collect comic books, and I'm Dracula, and I'm Canadian as well. Yeah, and my channel is right now I do a weekly show with my good friend Comic Aussie, also fellow Torontonian, where we go over our new comic book day, back issue pickups, things like that. And then of course I'll do the occasional unboxing video, as well as kind of other random things I think of. And and also having a blast going on other people's channels as well. That's what I really kind of enjoy the most. So
Oh, yeah, it's always fun to appear on someone else's channel.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I hear.
Yeah, Rob never makes it on anybody else's channel.
Very rarely.
In the last in the last week, every single kind of channel I went to watch a video on, Rob was there. Like
Right?
every single one. I'm not exaggerating. At least a dozen different channels. So yeah. Gets
He
around.
is
Yeah.
the YouTube presence.
Absolutely.
I'm like venereal disease. I'm everywhere.
Just more welcome.
Exactly.
Gary, what's up? Rob has a twin brother. Yeah.
Maybe.
Rob cloned himself. No, we got to stop with the clones. All right, Jack. So,
it's not a complaint. I always love seeing Rob's, beautiful facial hair. Who definitely gets my nomination for the CBC award there. So, yes,
and the best well groomed facial hair as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's not just there; it's mint.
No, it takes more time than you'd like to admit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You actually put the time into it.
Time and product, man. Time and product. You didn't know that you had to be such a woman to look like such a man.
Right?
Yeah, tell me about it.
Dirty deeds got to get done. All right, Jack. Why don't you open us up with a book there, good sir?
Okay, yeah. So I'm kind of all over the place, but I do know. I figure I'll start with this this may not be the very first comic I ever owned, but it's one of the first, and quite possibly the first Batman comic I ever owned. Batman is my favorite comic book character, so this is obviously a very important part of my collection. It's just kind of a random issue. It's Batman issue 422 from 1988.
Great cover.
Yeah, and that's this book I'll never get rid of. Yeah, firstly because it's one of the first Batman books I ever owned, and also that cover, it's really unique. You rarely see Batman with like conventional weapons, like
Yeah.
there's like the year 2 books where he's got a gun, and here's got a big doing his best Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, so like I think
Bowie
he's
knife,
quoted
yeah.
in there. He does the old "that's not a knife" bit as he
Yeah.
pulls it out, right?
Yeah, you call that
But
a
the
knife? This
drawing
is a
on the
knife.
cowl, like the narrowed eyes, really sell it the most. The
Yeah.
expression.
Yeah, but Batman's got all his own toys. He doesn't need this. So having him just holding a big knife is strange. It's a strange cover, right? I absolutely love it.
Every once in a while, the bat belt runs dry, Drac, and you just got to improvise.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, that looks like it'll get the job done. So, and of course, so yeah, I would have been, I think, probably 7 years old when this was published. I owned comic books before this, and I think I still have some of them. But this is the one I immediately think of when I think of like my first, like this one has really really stands out for me because it's just like such a striking cover.
And is that actually your original first, or is that just
It
one you
is.
rebought?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
original. Yeah, you can tell from all the spine ticks. There's a lot of them. So
It's all right. It's well loved.
yeah, absolutely. And yeah, and
And
of
I've
course
never actually seen that cover before, Adrian. That's my
Really?
first time seeing that cover.
Mhm. There's another one. I believe it's the issue right before this one that I also own, where it's got this character, the mime, on the cover, and the mime is like choking Batman. That's another great one. But yeah, and of course, the year after this, 1989, Tim Burton's Batman came out, and that solidified Batman as my favorite character.
Well, I think, yeah, we were all in the theaters for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think that was like the first like superhero event film.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where everybody rushed to the theater. That before that as well, like 12 years earlier with Superman.
Right. I don't think I saw the Superman movies in the theater. I did, of course, see them like on VHS, but yeah, Batman was definitely the first movie for me like that. That's first comic book movie that I thought was really just excellent. Although looking back now at the first Superman movie, I still love. That's a great movie.
Now, is
Yeah.
Michael Keaton still your favorite Batman?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he might be tied with Christian Bale.
Ooh, Christian Bale.
There's certain things. I mean,
For me.
it depends. There's things. A lot of things I liked about Christian Bale's performance. Some things I didn't like as much. If I had to pick one as my favorite, yeah, I might say Keaton is my all-time favorite.
He was the best balance between Bruce and Batman.
Yeah,
too.
exactly. Yeah. I did like Robert Pattinson, although you didn't get to see him much as Bruce. But I loved him as Batman.
Yeah, I was really impressed by the movie, but I thought he was going to do well anyway because I'd seen him in other stuff where he was great.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course, this issue here that you're talking about there, that Batman, is the issue before the Great Canadian comes to play in the Batman title.
Oh, Neil Adams.
Who's the great Canadian actual Dracula? Tell this man.
Oh, McFarlane.
McFarlane. Yes.
That's right.
I was
Yeah.
thinking that.
Because that was 422, 423
423.
is the infamous McFarlane cover with the Proto Spawn cape.
Yes, which sadly a book I do not have yet.
Oh.
I will someday.
You'll just have to win that Links box, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's I'm hoping I get it in that. So yeah.
Awesome. All right, what's second on the agenda here, sir?
All right, what do I go with next? Yeah, let's see. I just pulled out a bunch, and you know what? Let's go with this next. A modern book. This is probably still my favorite ongoing series, Ice Cream Man. And this is Ice Cream Man 24, Christopher Bust variant. That is, of course,
that is
the
amazing.
Clockwork
Orange poster homage.
Anyone our age knows that movie.
Yes. You
I
know
saw that when I was way too young.
Yeah. I saw that at a fairly young age as well. So this particular issue of Ice Cream Man, I can't even recall the story, to be honest. But there isn't an issue of it that I haven't liked yet. I don't even know that I have.
Don't know the book. That cover alone is worth it.
The cover alone, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, when I first saw this, so this was an exclusive. I want to say it might have been like a 616 exclusive or something. And anyhow, I remember when it went on sale, it sold out very quickly. I was not able to get a copy, but you know, obviously, I'm a huge Kubrick fan, huge fan of this series. So I was like, I got to get that.
Are you going to slab that?
Yes. Yeah. I think I
have
have
to keep
to.
that white protected.
Yeah, and it's super clean. So I'm going to get this graded for sure. Anyhow, how I got this copy was from the wonderful Adrian Pandawsum. Had this book. He was looking to sell it, and I was like, yeah, give that to me. I will take that. And so thank you, Panda. I will cherish this. I absolutely love this cover. It's definitely one of my favorite variants from. I think this came out in 20. I guess either last year or 2020, but easily one of the best covers from that year. So
it's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I had to let the cat out into the other room. Yeah, that is a beauty. All right, so that's two.
You only read that
I've never seen before.
Oh, you've never seen this?
No, I never saw that variant.
Mm-hmm.
I think now that book, though, I think it requires that you can only read it while listening to Ludwig.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, as I,
well,
you know.
Well, that's how you can grade it now.
Yeah. No.
It's a 9.6.
It's a good thing I double board everything. So, well, all my really nice books. So it's good. Yeah. So there's that.
Of course, we like violence.
Oh, how do you like your? Yeah, I like your violence. Yes, I like it ultra. With a glass of milk.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And me droogs.
Right.
My drill sergeant. My drill sergeant at military.
Like that movie is so vivid; it just brings you back to scenes in it.
My freshman year, at military school, our drill sergeant made the entire Rook platoon dress up as droogs. You know, put on our khakis with white shirts and like put our jock straps on the outside and roll our hats like our knit caps like as if they're like bowlers and stuff, and freaking go on running on down to the Halloween party or something, all dressed up like here comes a whole squad of droogs come marching in all at once. Right. That's all you needed. Then he tells us we had to be. Then he had the audacity to tell us we had to behave. It's like,
Right.
what?
I'm not dressed to behave. All right, what you got for number 3, Drac?
Number 3. All right, let's go with should I go with the slab, or you know what, let's go with this. This was I'm maybe I'll cheat and show 2 as one, at least, just to because I have to show my favorite cover from the series as well. But this was a book I picked up I guess fairly recently. And it is Marvel Spotlight 28.
Ooh,
So the first Moon Knight
Moon Knight
solo story. Moon Knight has become, one of my favorite characters over the past couple of years. When I got back into collecting, one of the titles I started kind of going after was Moon Knight, because I had not really known much about the character. And this was before like the show was even announced. I was just interested in finding out more about this character. And after reading a few issues, I really really got into him, and he's quickly became one of my favorite Marvel
and
characters.
just really one of the best design characters. Like, just the costume is cool.
Absolutely, yeah. And Bill Sienkiewicz is one of my favorite artists ever. So all his work on Moon Knight, I love. It's there was a really great video, cartoonist kayfabe, Jim Rugg and Ed Piskor. They did a breakdown recently of like his kind of progression over that first Moon Knight series. It's really fantastic. I recommend that video to any Moon Knight fans, or Bill Sienkiewicz fans for that matter. Anyhow, so I don't own a first appearance of Moon Knight,
Right.
and
Because it's insane.
it is, yes. But I managed to find this recently for a very good price, so it's kind of the next best thing to his first
And
appearance.
another book that's hard to find in good shape with the yellows and the blue. It just
Yeah, and this one looks, I gotta say, pretty nice. There's some spine ticks, but other than that, it looks beautiful, and I love this cover.
I mean, the real question is, do you
Hello.
need a house to live in? I mean, you could have Moon Knight #1, but I mean,
Yeah.
how do you like living in a snow fort?
right.
Yeah, no, yeah, I don't need it that badly. I do have a copy of Moon Knight 1. I don't have, and I have this, but I don't have the Werewolf by Night 32. Actually, that's not true. I have a facsimile copy. So
Well, there you go.
good enough.
Right. I
Yeah,
love the
so
facsimiles though. They're perfectly readable. You get the story. It's nice.
mhm.
There you go. What Comic Journey said. It's no Conan, but still a very nice book, Dracula.
Yes. Yeah, so I was really happy to find this, especially because over the past year, a lot of the Moon Knight books, just they spiked in price for a lot of them. I actually maybe didn't pick the best time to start collecting Moon Knight. But you know what? My kind of reasoning was, I didn't know what was going to happen with the show, so I figured, actually I ended up getting this, I think, after the show was over, so maybe that's
And
why I got it for a good price. But
in your
um,
defense, it's not a good time to start collecting anything anymore.
that's very true. Yes, yeah, you make an excellent point there. But you know what? It's been one of kind of the runs I've it's probably one of the only runs I really focus on filling, and it's one I've had kind of the most fun hunting out those books, and particularly high grade. I want, because basically just the first volume of Moon Knight, which is only 38 issues, but I want them all high grade, and I found quite a few really, really nice copies. But I just wanted to slip this in there because I have to, because it's my favorite cover of the whole series.
Oh, there you
Issue
go. That is a
29.
great cover.
Yeah. Bill Sienkiewicz, the negative space there. Yeah, so good. But yeah, there it is, Moon Knight.
Well, people don't realize how long Sienkiewicz has been around. That dude's
Yeah.
been around for a very long time in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm a big fan of his work, and of course he's, stylistically, he's hard to pin down. He's kind of all over the place.
Well, he's one of those artists that can do a bunch of different styles.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he does what's considered his signature style, it either works for the character he's doing it with or it doesn't.
Yeah.
I remember he did his worst cover, in my opinion. It was a Hulk cover. And I want to say 191, something. It was with Rom on the cover. And it's just a horrible cover. I'm like, Sienkiewicz just bang this one out for a paycheck.
Have you ever seen his Alf cover?
No.
He did a cover for an issue of Alf, and but it's like an exaggeration of his style. Like it was supposed to be. They basically said, "Hey, Bill, we want you to do an Alf cover and just go crazy with it, and make it as artistic as you want." And yeah, it's a mess.
Gave him the reins and he went running, huh?
Oh yeah. It's just.
I'm gonna have to
really
look that up now.
chaotic.
I'm gonna make a note. Bill S. Alf cover.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's your number 4, sir?
All right, number 4. You know what? Let's go with. Let me see here.
They're good, Bill, but I agree they're not as best, but they're way better than I thought they would be.
Let's go with this. This is what's on top. I'm a huge Thor fan, huge Galactus fan, so this is one of my all-time favorite Thor books, issue 168.
Oh, nice.
Incredible
Nothing
cover.
like Galactus in a kilt.
Yeah.
Watch out below.
Look at it, exactly. I mean, just incredible Kirby cover. This book.
It's no moon.
Yeah. So this book I got. Last year or the year before. When I went to Fan Expo here in Toronto, which was my first con in, over 20 years. And, I went there, got to meet up with some friends, people I'd never met before. That was amazing. But in terms of, in terms of books, I saw a lot of really nice stuff, but a lot of stuff that was like con prices, and just it was a little, not having been to a con, since I started collecting, I was like, oh, okay, I see. It's it's stuff that's not necessarily priced to fly off the shelves. There's a lot of maybe overpriced books, and generally just a lot of stuff I wasn't looking to buy. So
because some people are expecting people that are new to it to just overpay for stuff, thinking they're getting a bargain.
Yeah, I can see that. So I went there for, I guess, 2 days, and was a little discouraged. Found a few books here and there, but I was just looking through some, random vendors, long boxes, and I came across this for an excellent price. I don't remember what I paid for it now, but it was a really good price for this book. And so it made that experience Well, obviously, what made it worth it was the people, getting to meet with friends, right? But in terms of the actual hunting experience, this made it worth it here. Just this book.
Right. So
Um,
you got to get at least one grab.
exactly. Yeah, and this was it. This was the find for sure.
And
Um,
another one that's hard to get in
absolutely
good shape with
gorgeous.
the white background on it.
Yeah.
I'm sensing a solid background theme with you.
Yes, I do. I do like solid backgrounds. I'm a big fan of all white covers. And yeah, solid color covers, negative space. I do. If you've ever watched any of my favorite cover videos, like the Bearded and Cole cover challenge, you'll see a lot of those in there. I don't know why. I'm just drawn to those.
Oh, that's
Um,
okay.
yeah.
I'm drawn to those 70s and border covers where it has the border art
Mm,
on the
yeah.
page under the trade dress, and then you have the art breaking the border.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you why. I just like them.
I like those too. Yeah. Absolutely. Like the annual covers, do you mean?
Um, no, like Thor had a bunch in that era too. So you see the
Oh,
trade
I know.
dress,
I know.
and then
Yes,
it
I
has
know
like the
exactly what you mean.
border. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just like a little. The bottom
and
half is
there's a
just
bunch of
art.
Fantastic Four ones like that as well. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, those little Marvel ones. All right, let's see what you got for number 5, buddy.
All right, number 5. Okay, so since we are on that topic of covers like that, I gotta go with my Wolverine number 1, the John Tyler Christopher negative space variants,
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
aka the Banana Wolverine.
And nine
Yeah,
eight.
in a 9/8. Um, so this book, obviously stunning cover. But this book is special to me because when I um, when I first got back into collecting, um, well, long story short, I just got back into collecting roughly 2 years ago. I had been reading comics somewhat, but just only trades for a good 20 years. I was not really paying attention to what was going on in, a lot of modern comics. So when I first got back into collecting, one of the biggest things I noticed right away was how many variants there were, and especially things like exclusive variants, and whether it's store variants or con variants, because when I was a kid collecting, those weren't really a
Right.
thing. Um,
And in this day and age now, it's impossible almost to own every cover of an issue because there's just so many store variants and exclusives out there. You'll never find them all.
Absolutely, yeah. Anyhow, when uh of course I was like, oh man, there's just so many cool covers, and it's like, yeah, that was my immediate thought, was like, there's no way you could have all of these. Um, but kind of the very first, I guess, variant that I came across, um, I think this book had kind of just come out around the time I started to get back into collecting. And this was the C2E2 exclusive, limited to 3,000.
Right. The
And
one, my favorite one is the Spider Woman one. That one's beautiful.
I love that one. Yeah.
The Emperor Palpatine,
hmm So
Oh,
this,
black on purple,
yeah, that's a really great one. Yeah.
or is it? Or is that the? Yeah, that's the one. I'm trying to
I
think of
think
which
so.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, black and purple. I think was Palpatine, and then there was a. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow, as soon as I saw this cover, I was like, I need that. I'm a huge Wolverine fan. I love the design so much. I then immediately went and looked it up on eBay, and I was like, no, I'm I'm not buying that.
all right.
I
That's how I
I
was with the Spider Woman. I still don't own it. I'm like, oh
yeah,
no, 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 no.
yeah, no, yeah, for just a cover, what's essentially a cover buy. However, this I bought. during an Instagram live sale and auction from the comic book champ, a fellow Canadian. Anyways, he put this up for auction, and I was lucky enough to get it for it's around half of its fair market value.
Nice.
So
Was it already slabbed or raw when you got
yeah,
it?
already slabbed. Yeah,
Can't beat that then, man. Guaranteed 9.8.
yeah, and I didn't feel bad for getting it so cheap because he apparently had won it in a mystery box. So yeah. Yeah. Oh, another great one like this they did the Iron Man one.
I need
That's
to. The Rogue
that's
one's
all
nice
red.
too.
Yeah, I got the Boba Fett one. Yeah.
The Rogue One though wasn't the same artist.
Oh, it wasn't okay.
No, that was a J. Scott Campbell one was the big one. That was the Rogue One, and then
Yes.
also David Nakayama's done some derivative,
Similar. Yeah.
similar type things. They're not
It-
true negative space, but
Yeah, he just does the solid backgrounds.
it just
Yeah.
happens to be the solid background matches a lot of what is going on and stuff. But yeah,
Yeah, he's got a new Scarlet Witch one coming out. That's nice. Yeah, that's a beauty, man. I've only
Yeah.
seen that book a couple times. I mean, it was around YouTube like really hot about a year ago. You were seeing it pop up.
which number is that one?
This is $22.99 of 3,000. I wish it was $20.99, but
So
right.
then you'd go like, I'd have to sell this for $1 billion a row.
Yeah.
I know Rob would cross the border and club you like a baby seal and make away
For
with that.
that, yeah.
All right, number 6, buddy. What you got?
Number 6. All right, let's go with that or this. Yeah. Let's go with this one. Yes. Some more Bronze Age Marvel stuff here. Marvel Spotlight 6.
Ooh,
Second appearance of Ghost Rider.
that is really nice.
Yeah.
And a border cover.
And a border cover, yeah. I love the blue on this cover. It's so good. Now this is I don't have Spotlight 5. Would love to have that book. But again, I'm a big fan of second appearances, especially when the first appearances are in the stratosphere.
Absolutely.
So, right.
And this is really.
And not only that, that's a great cover with the fire and just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Bronze Age goodness there.
Yeah, absolutely. Now this book I got from Mr. Gene Mallow, another fellow Canadian. So Gene was selling some mystery boxes and some comics that were actually belonged to a friend of his. He was just trying to help him sell them. I bought one of his mystery boxes, and inside that one was a Tomb of Dracula issue 1.
Ooh. Oh, I remember you getting that.
Well, that was a different one, but
okay.
This was more recent. So I got a Tomb of Dracula number 1, and he also had a bunch of other. So he sold more boxes with stuff like he had this in one of them. He had there was a Doctor Strange number 1, I think a Luke Cage, Werewolf by Night number 1. Anyhow, no one was biting on the mystery boxes, so he was like, I'm probably just gonna disassemble them and maybe just sell off the books in lots, and if you're interested in anything, let me know. So I bought the Oh, you know what it was? I'm getting it backwards. So I won the werewolf. I won a Werewolf by Night #1 in his mystery box, and he sold me a Tomb of Dracula 1 and this as well.
Oh, great gets.
Yeah. So yeah, and I got them. So thank you again, Gene, because this is a book I was not expecting to own anytime soon, and yeah, it's fantastic. Love these.
Just so much goodness from that Marvel Spotlight series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I love the Bronze Age, the horror stuff. I mean, Tomb of Dracula, Werewolf by Night, Ghost Rider. Absolutely, I would put into that
Right.
category.
There is some great
Stuff is so good.
post-code horror too. Not just
Mhm.
pre-code, but also post-code horror. There's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, excellent.
And congrats to Burke who picked up a bunch of these early Ghost Riders, Marvel Spotlights. He got this, and I think 7, 8, 9 as well. So yeah, I do. Thank you, Biggie.
Nice. All right, take us into number 7. Let's see some more goodness.
Number 7. All right, let's go.
You've shown all great books, man. This is fun.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, speaking of, anyone who knows me and has seen my channel knows this is my favorite book in my collection. The aforementioned Tomb of Dracula #1.
And just what a cover, right?
Yeah. Neil Adams, incredible.
And now recently that book's probably gone way out of anyone's affordable range.
I haven't looked, but
that's because you don't need to.
Yeah, I own 2 copies of this now.
Oh, you bastard!
And
good for
yeah,
you, man. Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, it requires no explanation, really. Yes, actual Dracula likes Tomb of Dracula. It is a damn. It is one of the classiest books out there. Absolutely.
And the thing that he gets right on that cover too is atmosphere.
Totally.
You could feel the setting on that cover.
Yeah. I mean, the atmosphere is very. It's like very Bernie Wrightson.
Yeah. Mike
And
Flug.
Yeah.
It's not that bad actually. A mid grade copy run you less than $500.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like crazy out of reach for a lower to mid grade copy. High grade though, forget it. I mean, because it's very difficult even to find in high grade.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's less. There's if you start talking about graded books, it doesn't go over $1,000 until you get to a 9.0. So anything, so you can get an 8.5 for less than $1,000.
That's not bad then.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's just the 9.8 that'll kill you.
Yeah, it's just that first appearance of Blade that's probably way over that one.
Yes, First Blade is still, the
that's what I got the second appearance of Drac. I have the second.
That's I still need his second appearance. Yeah, that's one book I'm missing from this run. Well, I'm missing a bunch still, but that's one I would like to get this year. It's on my wish list this year. Second Blade. And yeah, Biggie, I did see that Comic Tom recently traded, because if you see in Comic Tom's videos, he would have a slab 9.8 Tomb of Dracula 1 behind him. He just traded that for a Journey into Mystery 83 3.0, which, as much as I love this book, I would make that trade. If I had, as much as I want this in a 9.8, I would. I'm also a huge Thor fan, so I think I'd make that trade as well. Good, it's a good trade.
You put the hammer down.
Wow.
Nice. All right. Number, what are we on? 8?
7. This was what, 7?
I think
8?
so.
Yes.
7. So we're going into number 8.
Okay. let's keep the Dracula theme going here. With this is an A-OK for my good buddy Mr. Remy Q Studios, one of the kindest members of this community. Very generous. I had won a giveaway he did. I think it was like part of a DJ Lynx's one of DJ Lynx's like maybe 2000 sub something giveaway show.
Right.
And I had won a prize that Remy was giving away, and he also threw this in as well, which is Bram Stoker's Dracula adaptation by Mike Mignola, the 4-issue miniseries. This is issue 1, slabbed, and it was just so thoughtful because this is one of my favorite comics ever.
And another killer cover too.
Absolutely,
Mike Mignola killed that cover.
I'm a huge Mike Mignola fan. This whole, if you've never read this, it's the artwork is fantastic. Again, it's like, a short adaptation of a whole movie, so it's just taking bits and pieces, but the artwork's
a good Roy
fantastic.
Thomas adaptation.
Yes, and so this this I have, I had some couple of raw copies of this. I have one still in the poly bag, and it comes with the trading cards. But did not have it slabbed, so thank you, Remy. Great back cover as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's surprising how many things Mignola's art style actually fits and just makes it look great.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And this, I know he actually did get, input from Francis Ford Coppola while he was making this. So yeah, it's not like, it's not Tomb of Dracula 1, but because this is my favorite Dracula movie ever, Coppola's Dracula.
Really?
It is. It's my favorite. It's kind of annoying when I mention that, and the first thing people mention is Keanu Reeves and his terrible accent, and it's like, okay, but that's just
that's one person.
Yeah, that's just
you can counter that by saying, but it had Winona.
It did, yeah, and Gary. I mean, Gary Oldman,
right?
Was just
and Tom Waits was great as Renfield.
Yeah,
no, absolutely. I mean, I dig the movie. I think it was very good and definitely up there. I just always go back to the classic MGMs, though, man. The Bela Lugosi. I mean, but that's just me. Actually, for me, I mean, you could argue with like maybe the Cabinet at Dr. Caligari, but
yeah, Bella, of course, also fantastic. But this is still my favorite movie. It's the one I've seen most. It's kind of
I don't think you're wrong.
With. Yeah.
Did you see it in the theater?
I don't think I saw it in the theater.
Oh,
no.
I saw it in the theater when it came out. It was like it was fun.
But I have seen it many times, since then. And Gary Oldman is just absolutely an amazing Dracula. I am really looking forward to seeing Nicolas Cage as Dracula in the upcoming Renfield. Yeah, that should be good.
Things are afoot in Transylvania.
I'm anxious for that Renfield. That should be a great movie.
Yeah, I hope so. It's Nick Cage, so I'm a fan.
It could be good. It could be bad.
Yeah. You have no idea.
50-50 shot.
Exactly. Yeah.
Is he going to cage it up or actually just play the role?
I mean, it's Dracula. He has to cage it up.
He does.
When you get a character like that, yeah.
You got to.
Yeah, you got to.
All right, take us into number 9, sir.
All right.
Just as long as he doesn't Leslie Nielsen it up.
What, Dracula Dead and Loving It?
Exactly.
That's still fun.
Let's go with this. Okay, so Rob, I know you're a big you're a big signature guy. You like to get a lot of stuff signed.
Sure.
I'm never really I've never really like I'll get stuff signed at a con, but I don't really
You
go
don't
out of
chase
my
it?
way to buy, signed books or things like
Right.
that. However, what I do love is finding signed books in back issue bins, things
Right.
I'm not
Ooh.
expecting to find. And
Usually they're on the inside of the cover too, a lot of times.
yeah, which I wouldn't even, I could have signed books that I'm not aware of because maybe I just haven't cracked them open yet, right? There could be something on the inside. But in terms of I've been lucky. I've found some pretty cool signed books over the past 2 years. This, however, has got to be my favorite. It is Nick Fury, Agent of Shield 5, and it's signed by Jim Steranko.
Wow.
Yes. Nice.
That is
That is
just
amazing.
yes. This was just regular back issue bin with all the other crappy Nick Fury comics.
With any other
even
agent
with the
of
90s
Shield,
ones.
I
Yeah.
think just about every single book that says Shield on it is in the back issue dollar bins.
Yes. So yeah, I was really stoked to find this. It's one of my favorite Steranko covers, and it's
Yes, that's good.
he's also got, I think, one of the best signatures as well. Very cool.
And that's one to hold on to because you won't get that again.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, he's
So
still doing some
that's-
signings.
Yeah, I mean, it's I've found some other, I've found who did I find? Howard Chaykin signed Punisher book. I found what else?
You'll find stuff out
Some
there. I mean,
random
I've
stuff.
sent Gary
but-
a couple that I found that were a couple Conan books that I found that were signed. They only wanted guy wanted $3 or $4 a piece for them. I was like, oh,
Signed by Bruce Jones, a classic writer.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this I paid, I don't know, maybe $15 for this.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
All day, twice on
Definitely
Sunday.
worth it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't come across something like that every day. So I was really happy to find that.
Actually, I got to mail it to Jimmy. I found a T-Force signed by Mr. T.
Oh,
Okay.
Got it for $0.25.
Wow.
Nice. Yeah. All right.
I told Jimmy it's gonna cost more to mail it than he's worth.
That's all right.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to book number 10, and then we're gonna go to the one with an extended story.
Okay, so book number 10, I'll go with a book I got very recently, but it's a book I've wanted for a long time because I'm a huge fan of the character. One of my top 3 favorite characters, Wolverine. That is Wolverine issue 1, Frank Miller. And actually, how I came about this was my neighbor a few weeks ago. He didn't know I was into collecting comics, but I just happened to catch him one day coming out of his house with two boxes of comics. And I did one of those. Oh, what do you got there, right?
Exactly.
What are you doing with those comic books, man?
Please don't be thrown away.
Yeah. And he was like, "Oh, these were just some comics I had, from when I was a kid that were stored at my parents' house. I was just bringing them. He was just clearing out his parents' house basically, and so he brought these boxes back home, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm into collecting comics. well, what's your plan with these? What are you gonna do? You wanna sell any of them? You want to sell them to me? Do you want to sell me all of them?
Do you want to tell them? Do you want to sell them all to me? Do you want to?
Yeah,
Come on, wait, hold on.
exactly.
Let me try my vampire powers. You want to sell them all to me?
Actually, it turns out I didn't have to do that.
Are vampires Jedi?
He was kind enough to let me look through them, and so the first box was basically like all Alpha Flight and ElfQuest and stuff I wasn't all that interested in. His name. Oh, Biggie knows his name was because he showed up on my show, MC Abdominal. Anyhow, I looked through the second box and there's some Uncanny X-Men, and he had a full run of Secret Wars, including issue 8, and then he had this, and this. Not only was this, he did some of the Secret Wars 8 as well, which was great, and I bought some X-Men books.
I should have taken the whole of Secret Wars.
Yeah. What was great about this was obviously, of course, this is a book I've wanted for a while, but a lot of those books were really beat up. This was probably one of the nicest looking books he had still.
Nice.
And there's, some spine ticks, but other than that, it's beautiful.
Everybody needs 3 or 4 copies of that.
Yeah. Yeah. So really happy to finally have this.
Now, I'm going to say the unpopular opinion is because John Buscema is one of my favorite artists. I prefer the John Buscema Wolverine one from that series.
It's still a classic
cover.
No, that's still a great cover.
It's a classic that everybody should have 3 or 4 copies of.
I would love.
And again, solid background, Drac.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. All 4 issues had solid backgrounds.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He said he had all 4 issues of this, but couldn't find them all. So I'm hoping he finds them.
Maybe later. Yeah,
I'll get them. But still happy to have issue 1. A Wolverine key I did not have, so yeah, there it is.
All right. So what? That was 10. So 1 with a story. With an extended story. I mean, we've gotten stories. Now we got an extended story.
1 with an extended story. Okay,
like not extended. I mean, like a personal story.
Yeah, I mean, because I have one I could just tell a story about. It's not really personal.
It doesn't matter. Do what you feel.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll go with a more personal one. And this will make more sense in a couple of weeks after I make this video I'm planning. So this is He Is Just a Rat, issue 1. And this is
wow.
No, I'm not surprised. This is just a little indie book from Toronto creator named Tony Walsh. And this came out in 1995. And so it's basically about this character, Rat Boy, who is, I don't know who I would compare him to. He's kind of an asshole, and he just kind of does whatever he wants. He's like this, just got kind of a bad attitude, and but he's also I always thought he was really cool. Anyways, when I was a kid, I thought this was hilarious. It is a really funny comic. And anyhow, what the story behind this was, why this is important to me is this. So this is one of the, first comics that kind of exposed me to the whole world of, independent and underground comics.
Right.
And on a very, on a personal level as well, because not only did I, actually meet the guy, I bought this from him. It was at a zine fair, and it was the first zine fair I had ever been to, and I want to say 13 years old. My mom actually told me about this thing. It's like, this book fair with, independent publishers and self-published stuff. And that's where I found Rat Boy and discovered this world of, uh, independent publishing. Anyways, after that, I just, myself and my brother and my mom decided to make our own zine, which we did, called Dysfunctional Family. And we then sold it at that same zine fair the next year, and the year after that, and the year after that. And we did that for several years.
So this book was kind of the impetus for that for you.
Absolutely. It was for me, was just seeing that you could make these crude comics and some people might be interested in them. And this this was a big part of that. And this will always be so kind of hold special memories for me, because it's my connection to that, going back to that was like such a I just had so much fun doing that stuff, making those zines. And that's something I have not shown off before, like on my channel at all, or even on Instagram, because I am kind of working on something right now. I'd like to do maybe a series of videos looking at those, if anyone is interested. Maybe nobody will care, but just for me, going back and kind of revisiting that stuff. I will likely be bringing my brother on, so be forewarned, everyone. You're gonna get a double dose of Dracula.
Is he older or younger than you?
No, he's 2 years younger than me.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So Drac
That's,
Junior.
that's interesting. I remember you talking about it in the hot seat. So
Yeah. I was actually just talking to him the other day, and we're kind of figuring out when we're going to do that. I think it's going to be soon, and that's what made me think of this. Is like, I should pull up my He's Just a Rat, because really important. Like, it's just it's a just kind of like a funny punk rat who likes to stir up some shit. And
Great fashion sense too.
yeah, absolutely. But it made me want to make, because when I was a kid, I wanted to be like Todd McFarlane or Jim Lee, those guys. But when I read this, I was like, I don't have to be those guys at all. I can just, you know what I mean? Like, there's, because of my, I guess, as much as I love drawing, I also like to make people laugh. So it's like, I can make funny comics, and I can, and it doesn't have to
your
look like,
personality in them.
yeah, it doesn't have to look like, a Marvel comic or something like that. So this is my, kind of real introduction to that stuff.
Nice. Well, that's a great story.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So what do you
be on the lookout for that.
Spec pick for
us? Spec pick. Okay, so for spec pick, I'm gonna go with this book here, and there'll be a little bit of a backstory behind this. So this is Punisher War Journal 19. And if you can see on the cover there, it says, "You've just rented a jet ski to the Punisher. Kiss that baby goodbye." And so the deal with this book is, I'd say maybe about a year or so ago, I posted this book on Instagram as part of a series called Frank Steals Your Jet Ski Friday, where every Friday I would post a book where Punisher, a Punisher book that featured, jet skis, ideally Frank stealing a jet ski. Now, I have not been able to find too many, so I did post
I
this
was
book.
gonna say,
I was
I was
gonna
say,
say,
how
how
many
many could there
covers are
be?
there?
Who knew Frank had
I'm
an
still,
affinity for jet skis in the open water?
yeah, I'm still looking for them. I'm still kind of on the hunt for them, but until then, I have one of these I can post, now and again just to remind everyone. And kind of the spec behind this, I guess, is um, you know, we know that there's a new Daredevil show in the works. I'm hoping that we get Punisher in there at some point. I'm hoping John Bernthal comes back, returns as the Punisher, whether it's in Daredevil or in some other project. Um, Regardless, if we do get Punisher in a movie or a show, I think it's only a matter of time before we get to see some jet ski scenes. And once that happens, this thing is going to go through the roof, right? Once you see
Right.
Punisher
It'll
stealing a
go at
jet
least for
ski,
$5-6 then.
yeah, I think he'll be stealing a jet ski, even if he's just riding one. I think the fact that he's riding one on the cover, people are going to see that and go, I need that. So, recently I did this comic book swap with Bryden, who goes by the name Specialties on Instagram. He does this Canadian comic swap every year with fellow Canadian collectors where you send him some comics, he sends you some back. There's no value attached or anything. It's just like, you send me books, I'll send you books, and that's it. It's just, it's just for fun. It's a comic swap. And so this year he sent me a big stack. It was like six bundles of comics. And Bryden knows what's up. So on top of each bundle of
Nice.
comics was a copy.
So you
So
got
you've got your multiple,
Punisher jet ski spec cornered.
Absolutely.
and you're good for good. You're good for multiple Mondays.
Yes, and not to mention the other multiples I already owned of this. So
Right. Nice.
am I doing this? Am I saying this now to drive up the price of this book? Who's to say? All I'm saying is,
All we're saying is, if you ever get a Dracula mystery box, every box will include a
I'm
jet ski.
not letting go of these. I'm
Well, you
holding.
could say a jet ski in every box.
Yeah, no, I'm holding firm on this
People
spec.
might
I'm
think that
waiting.
they're going to get a jet ski, and they, yeah.
Yeah, and no, it's just Frank with the jet ski. I'm holding firm on this spec. I'm waiting till we get some news on the Punisher, and I think that it's gonna be because, I mean, what's more badass than Frank holding a giant gun, riding a jet ski into the sunset? I think we're gonna get a scene like that
Is
eventually.
that the jumping the shark issue?
And yeah,
Yeah, literally.
exactly. He's gonna jump shark
Right.
for sure. But so that was my spec. If you can't find any of these because I've bought them all from your local comic book shop,
Hit 'em up.
my other secondary spec is Uncanny X-Men 133, which is the first Wolverine solo story and first I guess solo cover as well. This is also because Wolverine keys again, I think those are really good to be grabbing right now. Obviously, Hulk 181, a lot of people are priced out of that. That Frank Miller Wolverine one, obviously also a great pick. But this one is, I think, more overlooked, and you can still find it for fairly cheap. And this is also when it is confirmed that he has a healing factor. So another key there, yeah, and just
Wait, so is
super
that
cool.
the first issue they mentioned the healing factor?
No, it's mentioned briefly in a previous issue, but it's confirmed in this issue.
Gotcha.
Mhm. And yeah, so first solo story and first solo cover. Yeah.
Now, what's the first book where you see where they say snipped?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm not sure. I should look that up. And who coined that? Who came up with that sound effect?
Right, the classic. But you know, it's got to be a first in one of the books.
It's got to be. Yeah.
I just sent you down another rabbit hole. Sorry, Drac.
No, actually, that's a very good. I'm gonna look that up, as I'm curious myself.
Wow. Well, no, that's great spec. The Punisher spec was hilarious. I loved it, especially that you got so many copies of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you got to pick just one, I don't know.
Well, yeah, definitely don't bet on X-Men. Nobody even knows what that is.
Yeah, forget about that. As I'm telling you, that's why I went with this first. If you're gonna pick
all day.
just one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I think that's what Musings is referring to. This is the cool spec pick, right? This is the one he really likes. So.
Well, Bill does prefer his Punisher wet.
So I've heard. Yeah.
Oh no, great books, great books, Adrian. Man, that was a lot of fun, man. You brought a lot. Oh, first bub too. That's true. First bub, first Nick.
First bub, yeah. I gotta look that up too now. Yeah.
But those are spectacular, dude. That's what I love about this show is everybody usually brings something a little different.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I had a blast. Thank you for having me. This is cool. There's a bunch of I wasn't quite sure. I hadn't quite decided what I was going to show, and but I think it's a pretty good a pretty good representation of what I like to collect.
And don't forget, there's always return visits on this show. It's only 10 bucks. You can always show 10 more.
Oh, absolutely. I've got 10 more. I got 10 more comics. Yeah.
Just 10 more, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Rob, as we wrap this up, sir, what have you got coming up on your channel?
Today is what, Tuesday? I don't know. Thursday there'll be some unboxing, a mystery box, I think. And then Saturday, Slab Hub. That's really the only thing that matters in life anymore. Saturday, 11:30 a.m. Pacific, 2:30 p.m. Eastern. This week, Jared from Instagram handle @SpiderPlanet will be on. He specializes his collection in golden and atomic age sci-fi. So if you're like me, get your stretchy pants on.
Right. All right, and on my channel, so this Thursday we have Pocan Joe in the hot seat with the usual suspects. And I know we got something coming up on the 7th. I got to check my Instagram messages. I just got to confirm. We're going to have another, the 1011, which is going to be going weekly. And, of course, Savage Saturday Comic Review. We got the Grow Together Initiative Part 3 coming soon. I'm probably going to do a live announcement and go through the channels live of what I'm setting goals for. And so we'll do that. And Drac, what have you got coming up, sir?
Yes, so tomorrow night I've got comic picks in the 416 with Comic Ozzy. And then after that, I don't really have much planned. I won't be doing Casual Dracula this week. Maybe next week. It's whenever that happens, whenever it happens. It's Casual Dracula. And Gary, I got to get you on there. You've got to definitely be one of my next guests. I've decided. I think I have one. Well, I think I got one show planned coming up, but after that we'll talk. We're
okay, yeah,
because it'll have to be anything
other than a Tuesday or Thursday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that show happens whenever it happens, and then I do have a couple of I mentioned the Bearded and Cole comic book challenge videos. I'm due to be shooting a couple more of those this week, so get to see some more cool covers in my collection. And other than that, I don't have too much planned. Like I said, there's the I'm gonna have some videos coming out in the near future talking about the zines I used to make as a kid with my brother and my mom. Actually, she was also part of that, so maybe I'll get her in there at some point because she's a, yeah.
We'll be looking forward to those.
It'll be interesting.
All right, everyone in the chat, his links are in the description below, so please go give Drac a sub and a follow on Instagram. We're going to wrap it up here. Rob, the busiest man on YouTube, has another show to get to, and we don't
10 minutes late
any longer. 10 minutes late. And but thank you all for coming out. And as always,
Fire my agent.
Keep it casual, and guys, take care.